Hey everybody, before we get into the video today, just a quick message to say thank you for your support and sorry for all of the mix-up with the gift codes. Small Giant Games is nice enough to reissue them with very individualized codes for each content creator. That's what's happened before, is that the codes were very similar, and so people could just guess what the other content creators' codes would be. Then they passed them around, and suddenly they were all gone. So some of you got them, and a lot of you didn't, and I apologize about that. But very soon, I'll have new codes to give out to you. I'm not just going to blast it in a video, okay? Because that way people are just screenshotting it and just giving it to everybody. I'd like to retain control over it as much as I can for a little while. So I'll do it the same way, do little trivia questions where you comment, but I'm going to need you to be able to drop your line or your Discord handle some way that I can message you privately. And I can't just do that on YouTube. So anyway, stay tuned. Those are coming shortly. And now on to the top list of Yellow Mana Control heroes. Welcome back, my friends. 3KO Games here. Thank you for checking out the channel today. This is part 4 of my series on my favorite mana control heroes. I started the series a long time ago and I kind of dropped the ball on finishing it. So we have videos, I will link them in the description below, of blue, green, and red heroes. Now it's time to start on yellow and purple. Today's video will be on all of the yellow heroes that do mana control. It's one of my favorite types of special skills in this game because there are just so many heroes out there that I'm afraid of, and I just need them to not fire their special skill, please. I am going to go through everybody that I know. There's so many heroes. Maybe I missed somebody. If I missed somebody, let me know. I'm also going to leave out of this discussion all of the heroes that just do mana generation down. I think it's a nice skill, but it's not the primary reason why I'm taking that hero into battle. I'm mostly thinking about bringing in a hero on the offensive side, and the primary reason I'm bringing them in is I need them to shut down some enemies so they don't fire. So, without any further ado, let's get in. We'll go category by category. We're going to talk about mana reducers, people that wherever the mana is at, they're going to chop some away. Sometimes it's 5-10%, sometimes it's 40%. In alphabetical order, we have 4-star Chao. At fast speed, the original reduces the mana of 1 by 25%. The costume steals mana from 1 over 4 turns, increasing. We have Ganju. Don't forget about Ganju, man. A mana reducer, 270% damage to 1 and reduces mana of that target by 25% at fast speed. Gretel, average speed, reduces mana of the target to 50% when full for 3 turns, as well as a little bit of damage. Guinevere, holy hero that used to rule the game for a little while. Fast speed 5-star that reduces mana of all enemies by 20%. The original gave the caster and nearby some regeneration and defense up against dark. The costume reduced the mana even more, and then everybody gets that awesome reflect against dark. Don't forget about Lemonwood. We'll never forget about Lemonwood. 380% damage to 1 and reduces that target's mana by 20% and then just keeps firing. If the target has more than 30% mana after the reduction, it hits another. Gotta love some Lemonwood. Leonidas, one of the original mana reducers and still one of the hardest mana reducers. 415% damage to 1 in the original and reduces that target's mana by 40%. The second costume reduces the mana of all by 10%. One of my favorite heroes in the game, 4-star Li Zhu at average speed. The original reduces mana of all by 20%. And of course, that ever popular costume 2 that we'll talk about with the silencers a little bit later. Marasunk from the Season 5 family. Average speed 5-star that reduces mana of all by 20% and damage them all for 150% damage. The costume, is a bigger hit and only 15% mana reduction to all. Neith, mana reducer, 200% damage to all and 20% mana reduction to all. Pixie, little 3-star, 290% damage to 1, reduced mana to 50% when full. Ribbit, another 3-star, hooray, 250% damage to 3 and 15% mana reduction to those 3. Finally, in the mana reducer category, we have Xavier. From the Super Elemental family, hits more based on how many holy enemies or holy heroes you have. And all hit enemies get a 20% mana reduction. Next up, we've got the mana stealers. So not only are they getting rid of the mana from the enemies, but they're taking it for themselves. Pretty great. Chao showing his face again. The costume steals mana from 1 over 4 turns, increasing from low to high, and that target gets 275% damage. Ithar, a very popular hero of the month from a long time ago, steals buffs from 1 at very fast speed and steals 35% mana from that target at very fast speed. Jocko, little 3-star from Nightmares of Atlantis, steals 33% mana from 1 and then damages that 1, changing Tide's speed. Onatel steals 330% damage to 3 and then steals mana increasing from those 3 for 4 turns. We move on to our mindless heroes. One of the newest in here is the newest Holy Season of Love hero, Anteros. 5-star mindless heal hero, 460% damage to 1 at fast speed, and then that target gets mindless heal for 3 turns. Kullervo, all the way back from the Kalevala family. Average speed hits 1 and then hits another randomly. Gives them both mindless attack for 3 turns. The costume for Kullervo gives them mindless attack for 4 turns. That extra turn is very nice. The very popular Kushanku, because he was in Soul Exchange very recently. Ninja, 5-star. He hits 1. He does a bunch of stuff where he goes into hiding and whatever, but most of that's not all that important. It's mostly about his mindless attack. And based on the first, second, or third mana charge, Kushanku gives that target 2, 3, or 4 turns of mindless attack. Our final mindless hero is the lovely pet 4-star Waddles. Waddles, who's still going to compete with some 5-stars because shifting mindless attack is so awesome. Fast speed, 365% damage to 1. And that 1 gets shifting mindless attack for 3 turns. So he fills up on mana, he hits somebody else, and then they get that same ailment. They fill up on mana, they give it to somebody else. It's pretty great. Back to Li Zhu, always coming back to Li Zhu, one of my favorite heroes in the game. Costume 2. It's so good, I felt like it just needed its own mention outside of just Li Zhu in general. 270% damage to 3, and silence for 3. And of course, as a wizard, she also dispels buffs. She does all the stuff. Costume 2 Li Zhu, just an awesome, awesome hero. And our final hero and our final silencer, another pretty new hero from the Astral Dwarves, is Solnus. 460% damage to 1, kind of like Anteros. But instead of mindless heal for 3 turns, she silences that target for 3 turns. Then Solnus hits another, and that second target gets plus 50% damage for 3 turns, and it increases based on how many minions that team has. And now, it's time for the top 5. Holy heroes. Lots of great mana control heroes, but who are the best of the best? My number 5 is going to be one of the originals. The man, Leonidas Costume. I'm tying Glass and Toon Costume right together. They both take one enemy, just hit the crap out of them. 575% damage from the Glass, and I think 565 damage from the Toon. From the Glass, that is going to bypass defensive buffs. And then they're going to reduce the mana of that target by a big chunk. Such a big chunk that if that enemy was about to fire, congratulations, they're no longer firing. And in fact, you can throw some tiles into them, and they're still not going to fire again if they are of average speed or slower. So number 5, starting things out, Glass or Toon, Leonidas. Number 4, I am going with Anteros from the Season of Love. I know it's just a seasonal hero, and usually those are not so strong, but I just love that mindless heal, and at fast speed, it's a good hit. It's mindless heal to 1, and the passive is increasingly important right now. That Anteros resists any special skills that try to block his own special skill, or her own special skill, excuse me. So that means you try to silence Anteros or give them mindless attack or mindless heal themselves? Nope. And additionally, you try to fire Bernadette? No way. Resisting Bernadette. Anteros is number 4. Number 3. From the Astral Dwarves, Solnus. She's the newest hero, and yes, she's an excellent, excellent hero. At fast speed, she's going to hit one for 460% damage and silence them for 3 turns. At fast speed, that's great. And then she's going to hit another and give them increased damage for 3 turns. This bypasses minions. She resists negative effects from minions. She resists blind and dodge. She's just going to hit no matter what. Solnus is a truck and a great fast speed silencer, and she is my number 3 pick for best yellow mana control heroes. So number 2. I've only put 4 stars as honorable mention before, but if you know me, you know that my favorite hero still to this day in Empires and Puzzles is 4-star Costume 2 Li Zhu. Use her all the time. She's just excellent. She's going to deal 270% damage to the target and nearby enemies, and then the target and nearby enemies get silenced for 3 turns. 3 turns, silencing 3, can buy you all the time you need to do what you need to do. Plus, with her wizard costume, she's going to get that superior Master Jinx if you go all the way to double limit break. If you go all the way to like 25th node of emblems, which is going to give her a huge chance with tiles or with attack, with special skill attack, to deal extra damage and to dispel buffs. It's like a 50 or 60% chance to just like hit them with a tile and dispel their buffs. So you don't need to even bring in a separate buff dispeller with Li Zhu. She's going to dispel the buffs and then she's going to silence them because she's awesome. She's costumed to Li Zhu. I don't care. I don't care. She is a 4-star and is my number 2 yellow mana control hero. That means we have done it. We have gotten all the way to number 1, everybody. My number 1 mana control hero in yellow is the man, the elf, Lemonwood. I love Lemonwood. Controversial pick, maybe. But fast speed deals 350% damage to the target, reduces the mana of that target by 20%. If that target has more than 30% mana after the reduction, the special skill repeats and will keep on repeating. So, if you are able to time that right, Lemonwood can take a full, healthy team, a team that is full on mana and full on HP, and reduce them to almost no mana and almost no health. And it is awesome. He is able to work on offense or defense. He's able to resist blind and dodge, and he shares damage with his allies, so he is even more survivable. My number 1 pick for best mana control hero in yellow is Lemonwood. And there we have it, everybody, the entire list. So let me know down below what you think. Who did I miss? I mean, what mistakes did I make? Because maybe I did that too. Maybe I just forgot about some people. I will have to do the edit video later where I scoop up all the people that I missed. But I would love to know who your favorite mana control heroes are in yellow, or what other kind of content you would like me to create in the future. I have a lot of fun making these videos, and I appreciate your support, your likes, your subscriptions, all that kind of stuff. If you want to go even further with your support, there are memberships available for the channel. I will put a link down in the description of the video below, or you can just tap on that join button for more information. Thanks again for checking out the channel today, everybody. We'll see you next time.